तिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा गदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। हे कृष्णा कर्ण सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So welcome everyone to yet another day of Understand Gita in 18 days. The days are passing very fast. Already 8 chapters done. I hope you all are reading, because if you're not reading, then it's going to be very, very hard for you to catch up. So let's start chapter. So auspicious to see devotees in the morning, right? That's Mayapur, or afternoon, or in the daytime. Okay, chapter 8, Attaining the Supreme, Akshara Brahma Yoga. Yesterday was Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Today is Attaining the Supreme, Akshara Brahma Yoga. This is what we did yesterday. Glories of knowledge about Krishna. Krishna said, Tat Shrinu, now hear from me. Kaschin Mam Veti Tatvataha. And then knowledge of Lord Krishna's energies. We saw, I raised up the question, people say, show me God. And Krishna says, you can see me, Bhumi Apollo Anayor Vayur Manmano Buddhi Revacha. You can see me in the taste of water. You can see me in intelligence of a man. I am the sun, light of the sun and moon. I am the syllable Om. So many places Krishna is there. Do you want to see? That's the question. And surrendering onto Krishna, Mam Evaye Prapadyante, what happens? That Krishna lifts the devotee up from the ocean of nescience. And demigod worship and impersonalism, then we also discussed there are 4 types of people who surrender to Krishna, 4 types of people who do not surrender to Krishna. And then why they do not surrender to Krishna? Because there is a material desire. So where do they go? If they are in mode of goodness, then they will worship a demigod. From delusion to devotion. Ichha Dvesha Samuthena. Okay, this is today very interesting chapter. 8 questions by Arjuna answered. So Arjuna puts forward 8 questions to Krishna. And then remembering Krishna at the time of death. Why and how, and if we don't remember Krishna, then what happens? Then a part of remembering Krishna by Yoga Mishra Bhakti, remembering Krishna by pure Bhakti, then what is the difference between material world and spiritual world, and supremacy of pure Bhakti in attaining Krishna. Okay, so Arjuna inquires from Krishna. Arjuna inquired, "Oh my Lord, O Supreme Person, what is Brahman? What is the self? What are the fruitive activities? What is this material manifestation? And what are the demigods? Please explain this to me. How does this Lord of sacrifice live in the body, and in which part does he live? O Madhusudana. And how can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death?" So there are 8 questions here. Okay. So why is he asking it? Because he's hearing very attentively. So in 7th chapter, last 2 verses, Krishna brings up these words. Jarar marana mokshaya mam ashrita yatanti ye. Te brahma tad vidhu kristam adhyatmam karma cha akhilam. Sadi bhuta adi devam mam sa adi yagnam cha ye vidhu. Prayana kale api cha mam te vidhu yukta chetasaha. So see, the words are there, Brahma, Adhyatma, Adi Devam, Adi Yagnam, Prayana Kale. So he's asking now, what does this mean? I don't understand the meanings. So again, question he asked, what is Brahman? Answer Krishna gives, Brahman is an indestructible living entity, the Jiva. What is Adhyatma? Adhyatma is the nature of the self, the Jiva, which is to serve. Adhya Atma, what is the nature of the soul? Control, which is an Adhyatma also means a controller of the body. Because if the soul is not in the body is a dead lump of matter. The soul is making it look like it's alive. Karma, what is karma? Or fruitive work, activities of work, actions which lead to a material body is karma. What is Adibhuta? Material manifestation, the material nature which is manifested, which is around us, is Adibhuta. What is Adi Deva? Supreme demigod, universal form which includes all demigods. So Adi Deva is Krishna's universal form, which is described in 11th chapter and which is also described in 2nd canto, 6th chapter of Bhagavatam. Adi Yagna, the enjoyer of sacrifice, Paramatma. Who is the enjoyer of all the sacrifices? Paramatma. Where does Adi Yagna live or reside? In the heart of all. How to remember Krishna at the time of death? Practice remembrance throughout the life. So Supreme Lord said the indestructible, transcendental living entity is called Brahman and his eternal nature is called the self. Actions pertaining to development of these material bodies is called karma or fruitive activities. Okay, so karma here is described as I do an action and I get a material body. Material body can be a human body or a dog body or this body. There are 8,400,000 species, but I do activity and I am generating another body. This we studied, right? The 2nd chapter verse, Dehino asmin yatha dehe, the soul is inside the body and sees the body going through these changes. It's not that, okay, if once the soul has reached human body, then it is guaranteed that the soul will always get a human body. No, 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 no. There are 8,400,000 species on this diagram. Anywhere. So, okay, and the activities, what is karma? The activities which I'm doing, and that activity is going to give me a material body. For example, if I am engaged in an abominable activity, and that is my consciousness at the time of leaving the body, then I get a body of animal. No sin. Animals don't have sin. They are just forced by the material nature to go through evolutionary changes. So become a dog and do sinful activity without accumulating sin. Or if I want to eat anything and everything, if I want to drink everything and anything, because the aim of my life is to enjoy, then the body of a hog is waiting. Or if I do some pious activities, I'm very charitably disposed. Not necessarily my aim is to become Krishna conscious, but I am a so-called good man of the society. Okay, then the heavenly enjoyment is waiting. Or if I am a devotee of Krishna, then Goloka Vrindavan is waiting. So now the choice is with me, actually. Where do I want to go from human body? So it's a powerful weapon. Human body is a powerful weapon that we can use. Material nature, which is Adi Bhuta, is said to be endlessly mutable. The universe is the cosmic form of Supreme Lord, that is Adi Deva. And I am that Lord represented as a super soul dwelling in the heart of every embodied being. So physical nature is Adi Bhuta and it is endlessly mutable. We know that there's nothing stable in the nature. Everything is changing. Seasons are changing. Everything changes. This is the example of a cocoon. What is it called as? Caterpillar. And then it goes into a shell and it meditates to become a butterfly and comes out as a butterfly. So it's changing. We are changing. Our mind is changing. Our consciousness is changing. Our body is changing. Right? And the universe is the cosmic form of Supreme Lord. So the whole universe that we are residing in is nothing but a cosmic form. Cosmic means manifested material form, which it's actually transcendental. I'm sorry, but it is manifested. It comes into existence and it is unbinded. Okay, some child wants to chant this. Now Krishna is going to tell how to remember Krishna at the time of death. Some children can raise their hands if they want to chant. Vijita. Yes, Mataji. Yes, Vijita.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Antakale cha mam eva smaran muktva kalevaram ya prayati sa madbhavam yati nasti atra samsaya.
Very nice. Antakale cha mam eva smaran mukta kalevaram yaha prayati samad bhavam yati nashti atra sanchayaha. So, and whoever at the time of death quits his body remembering me, what happens? At once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. So Krishna is going. So there is, I always, whenever I take this chapter, I always try to bring attention of everyone to this. At once attains my nature. So Krishna consciousness is so nice. There is surety and there is no delay in achieving Krishna if one is serious. So this at once, this word, it is commented on big acharyas very deeply, and so many references are given. For example, if I want to become an IAS officer, how is it going to happen at once? No, I have to go through school, then I have to go through intense exam, and if I make it through the exam, then I will be very lucky to get to a college, and intense training in the college to become IAS officer, then intense hierarchy in the government after we pass out, after someone passes out of the college. Intense hierarchy, junior level, senior level, whatever. It's not advanced. Practically the whole 30-40 years of one's career is gone in doing this. Any profession you take, it's not advanced. It is a mistake to think that it is advanced. But Krishna consciousness, at once. Think of Krishna at the time of death, at once achieve Krishna, at once. So, and Krishna is saying of this, there is no doubt. At nashti atra sanchayaha, no doubt. So, also there is a pastime of Narad Muni. Narad Muni tells in 5th chapter of 1st canto how he became Narad Muni. Narad Muni was the son of a maid servant in his past life. He only tells his story. And he said for 4 months only, the sannyasis who were traveling all across the country, they rested in our house. There was no information about his father also. The mother was a maid servant. And because in the monsoon season, it's uncomfortable for the pure exalted devotees to walk. They rest at someone's house, and then what do? Bhajan kriya, what are they going to do? They're not going to discuss about how many cases of coronavirus are going on. You think people who are meditating in Himalayas are worried about how many cases of coronavirus are going on? No, their activity is fixed. They are Vyavasatmika Buddhi, fixed. So they were fixed. And Narad Muni says that he, by their permission, used to serve them. He was a small boy. So what can a small boy do? Get me water, get me food, or wash my clothes, or something like that. And he states in the chapter that by their permission, I tasted the remnants of the prasadam left by them. And Srila Prabhupada says, tasting the food which is left by a patient who is infected, let's say tuberculosis, it is so infectious. We should have their vessels and everything separate because we will get that disease. Similarly, if someone tastes the prasadam left by a pure devotee, they also get infected with pure devotion. Similarly, okay, so he tasted the prasadam, and he states that they used to talk about Krishna and I used to hear. And then after 4 months, they left. And one evening, my mother was milking the cow and she was bitten by the snake and she passed away. So Narad Muni states that at once I took it that this is arrangement of Krishna. He did not lament. He did not, say, oh, I'm small child. Now I am left in the whole world as an orphan. I have no one. He had no one. He said he immediately left for the forest to meditate on the Lord of his heart and to meditate on the instructions of the pure devotees that he received by good fortune. And then he describes that when he left the body, he immediately got Narad Muni body. Immediately. And it is described as thunderbolt and lightning. When there is thunderbolt and lightning, the thunderbolt and lightning happen at the same time. We hear the thunderbolt and we see the lightning same time. Like that, he describes it was like I left this body and attained my spiritual body of Narad Muni. Thunderbolt and lightning happen at once, at the same time. So that is the benefit of knowing Krishna. Knowing Krishna is not so cheap. Knowing Krishna is not so easy if one doesn't have the mercy. Because Krishna is unavailable to a common man, because we don't have a pure desire. Somebody goes to Krishna with a list. Can you fulfill this, and this? Then only then I'll do. And then the business. I have seen Krishna fulfill my desire. I will give this many rupees of prasadam in the temple. or I will feed this money. These are business dealing. That's not a pure devotion. That person is pious, at least they're pious because they're going to Krishna, but they're not pure devotees. Okay, but at once it will not happen if one is not practicing. And this is Yudhishthira Maharaj. He's saying, this is a Mahabharat. Ani ani bhutani gachitaha yamalayam shesha sthavaram icchanti kim ascharyam athaparam. Hundreds and thousands of living entities meet death at every moment. But a foolish living being nonetheless thinks himself deathless and does not prepare for death. This is the most wonderful thing in this world. So he was asked by Yaksha, right, that what are the most bewildering thing of this world? This is the answer he gave, that every moment, he's saying, not day, moment, hundreds and thousands of living entities are dying. But whoever is left behind, they think, let me watch a movie, let me just enjoy my life, because that death is meant for them. I am deathless. So that is a huge curtain of Maya, because nobody is going to live. And we must, because I know that something is going to happen for sure, the intelligence is that I must prepare to face it with confidence. And I must prepare to become deathless to attain my spiritual nature. Okay, some child wants to do it. Let's see. Mahati, Hare Krishna. Yes, Mahati, you can raise your hand.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी.
Hare Krishna.
यम यम वपि स्मरन् भावम् त्यजते अन्ते कलेवरम् तं तं इवैति कौन्तेय सदा तद्भाव भावितः.
Yes, thank you so much. So then we were reading, right, that Krishna is saying that at the time of death, if someone thinks of me, at once attains my nature, and of this there is no doubt. So he's saying if someone does not think of him, then what happens? What is the destination? Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajati ante kalevaram tam evati konteya sada tad bhava bhavita. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. Whatever memory is there at the time of death. Tyajati ante kalevaram means at the last moment, whatever memory is there. Tam evati konteya. Then that particular body, sada tad bhava bhavita, attains without fail. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. Without fail. These are powerful words. If someone wants to experiment on their own life, then fine, do it. I don't want to do it because I'm convinced. But if someone wants to experiment, let me do all enjoying, so-called enjoying activities in this life, and attaining Krishna is so easy. Let me, when I'm leaving my body, I'll just say Krishna, and I'm going to be like Goloka Vrindavan. It's not so easy, because at the time of death, it's so painful. Like right now, when someone is healthy, the senses are aware of their action, right? The senses, like my eyes know that I have to see, my nose knows that the function is to smell, my ears know that the function is to hear, or my tongue knows that the function is to taste. But at the time of death, the mind is all bewildered. The senses don't know what their functions is. So if I don't cultivate it during the lifetime, it's very hard. It's a risk, very. It's not even a calculated risk. There are different types of risks, right? Someone can take a calculated risk. This is not even a calculated risk. So this is a very dangerous situation. So if at the time of death, I'm thinking of an animal that I'm attached to, I get that body without fail. Oh, this is, we must understand this pastime with a lot of respect and gratitude in the heart. There are 9 stages of bhakti. Bhakti is a science, and there are 9 stages. One is Shraddha. First, like faith. Somebody has faith. It begins with faith. Then that person has faith. Then what happens? Second stage, Sadhu Sangha. Comes and associates with the devotees. Now, if they associate with devotees, they're not going to talk about kya bhav hai, what is the price, or what is happening in the world. That's not devotee. That's prajalpa. That's unwanted talk, which is compared to croaking of a frog. A frog croaks thinking that it is singing a very nice music in the monsoon season, but what is happening? It is inviting snake to kill it. So that kind of a talk is not a devotee talk. It's prajalpa. That actually reduces one's lifetime. But sadhu sangha will lead to third stage, which is bhajan kriya. They will chant and hear about Krishna. And then what is going to happen by doing bhajan kriya? Anartha nivritti. All the misgivings from the heart will go away. And when one gets anartha nivritti, then one gets nishtha. The faith, the shraddha becomes nishtha now. Nishtha means firm faith, attachment, firm faith. And when one gets nishtha, then the next stage, sixth stage is ruchi. One generates interest. I want to know more and more. This is interesting. Krishna consciousness is so enlivening. And when one gets ruchi, then asakti. One gets very attached to Krishna consciousness. And from asakti comes bhava. And from bhava bhakti stage is prema bhakti. So prema bhakti is the highest stage, in which one falls in love with Krishna completely, and 24 hours a day. But so Bharat Maharaj was in the Bhava Bhakti platform. Bhava Bhakti platform is not easy. It's not easy. Bhava Bhakti platform is one's consciousness is completely merged in Krishna. There is no struggle that whether do I do Krishna consciousness or I do something else. There is no struggle. So Bharat Maharaj was the king of the world. So he left the kingdom when he was in the Bhava Bhakti stage. He gave over the kingdom to his sons, and he wanted to concentrate more on Krishna consciousness. But somehow or the other, by Krishna's arrangement to teach us that what we should be careful of, he somehow or other became attached to a baby deer, a doe. So even though he was trying to perform his sacrifices, but he's somehow got attached to deer. This is Krishna's arrangement only. Like Arjuna is bewildered in Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna is bewildered, but how can someone be bewildered if one is with Krishna? That's Krishna's arrangement. So by Krishna's arrangement to teach us that even such an exalted devotee can shift his consciousness from Krishna to something else. And when he left the body, then he was thinking of the deer, so he had to get another deer body. But Krishna's blessing, Krishna's mercy is so nice that he actually remembered in the deer body that I got a deer body because of this. So in that deer body itself, he was keeping association with the devotees. And then when he left that body, he got a body of Jada Bharata. Jada Bharata we read in 5th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. And then when he left that body, then he went back to Krishna. So Jada Bharata, he was already in Prema Bhakti stage. So therefore, now we know the choices. What should we do? What is Krishna's opinion? Daksh, Hare Krishna, you can unmute yourself. Daksh, you want to chant? Okay, Sumedha, Hare Krishna, Sumedha Lalam.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. I'm sorry. Sorry, I was trying to do the volume. Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu. Read the next line, ma'am.
Mam Ashurma Yadyata Maya Arpita Manu Buddhir Mama Avasya Sahaya.
How old are you?
8 years, ma'am.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes. So, Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Mam Anusmara Yudhecha Mai Arpita Mano Buddhir Mam Evashyasi Asanchaya. So many assurances Krishna has given. Therefore, Tasmat means therefore. So when our statement starts with something like this, therefore, it means it is a continuation of the conversation. So we are continuing. Krishna is continuing his conversation that I said before. Now, therefore, Arjuna, you should. Should word is also an order. Always think of me in the form of Krishna. Think of me in the form of Krishna, not consciousness, not energy, not light, form of Krishna. And at the same time, carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. Evashyasi asanshaya. Asanshaya means, sanshaya means doubt. A means not, so without doubt. So, Anumam Anusmara Yuddhacha. Krishna is not saying just think of me and I will fight the battle for you and you just be busy in thinking of me. We must understand what Krishna is saying. He's saying you should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. Now, Arjuna has to fight the war. Okay, it's a skill. It's a very, very detailed skill to fight in a particular fashion. So, someone can question that how can one think of Krishna at the time of fighting a war? Oh my God. But Krishna is saying it is happening. It will happen. So, abhyasena yogena, practice. Practice before we meet such war-like situation, and then by detachment. So do it as a service to Krishna. Always remember, let's say that if there is a foreign service officer, okay, so they go to another country. Let's say there's the IFS officer, Indian Foreign Services officer. They go to another country for the posting, but they always remember that I am here on behalf of my country. I am always representing my country. When I am in the office, I am actually representing my entire country. So same way, and they're doing their work. So same way, similarly, we all can develop consciousness of Krishna at the back of our mind. And how will that happen? How will it happen? By chanting Hare Krishna. There is no magic. By chanting Hare Krishna. Again, he's saying, Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanya gamina paramam purusham divyam yati partha anuchintayan. He who meditates on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path, he, O Partha, Arjuna, is sure to reach me. This is the fourth time I'm reading Krishna's assurance. No doubt, sure to reach me. Of this, there is no doubt. So many times he's giving assurances. Abhyasa yuktena. And he's saying, meditate and think of me as in a form. Personality means there is a form. Let's say I have a personality because I have a form. That's why I have a personality. Air cannot have a personality. So Krishna has a form. So we have to think of Krishna in his form. His mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path. Not even for a moment one should get deviated from Krishna's meditation. Not even for the moment. Even while sleeping, while working, while awake, every time. Krishna, 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 hey. Oh, Partha, Arjuna is sure to reach to me. This will only happen to a person who has developed unalloyed devotional service. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen to a person who's sanshaya atma, buddhi. Means there are doubts, because for a doubting soul, there is no happiness in this world. Forget about the next world. And how can the questions are okay? Pariprashnena sevaya. Questions are okay. But living with a doubt that this is all false, people are trying to cheat, that means that person has had some trauma in their own life and they're just projecting it in spiritual life. So really, we are a combination of material and spiritual nature. So really, it's important to take care of the material trauma, whatever one faced. Otherwise, it's going to shed over to the spiritual life and there is no happiness. So this is the example, Abhyasa Yogena. This is the story of Ajamila. There was this very nice Brahmin called Ajamila. He appears in 6th canto Srimad Bhagavatam. So Ajamila was born to a very Brahminical family. From his childhood only, he was trained to worship the deity. Worshipping the deity is not easy, but he was trained. And he was trained to chant the mantras. He was trained to, worship Vishnu from his very childhood. So one day he went to the forest to collect 4 different kind of grasses, different flowers and fruits to worship the deity. But when he was returning, he saw a prostitute being hugged by another mlecha, and they both were intoxicated. He saw that he tried to control his mind by chanting the mantras and by remembering all his devotional activities, but he couldn't. He was married to a very nice and chaste wife, but he couldn't. So what happened? He brought the prostitute home and asked his old parents and a nice chaste wife to leave the house. And he lived with that prostitute and had 10 children with her. And he ate the food cooked by her hand. So his consciousness was again like polluted. So we are what we eat, right? So at the age of 88, he had a 2-year-old son. He forgot his Vedic culture. He forgot. He became a monker. He became a robber. He became a gambler, a meat eater, because he wanted to maintain the prostitute. So at the age of 88, he forgot Krishna. He just forgot it. But somehow or the other, Krishna in the heart gave him intelligence to name his last son as Narayana. He just named him Narayana. He was not worshipping Narayana. And he was very attached to the last son, Narayana. Old people, they're generally attached to young children, very young children, because they're innocent. The noises that they make, the babbling, or the smiles, or they're just innocent looks are very attractive to old people. So it is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. We should be careful when we grow old. This is a warning. It's okay to have affection, but attachment is different. So what happened? He was resting on the bed and Narayana was playing nearby, and it was time for him to leave the body. Because he had done so many sinful activities, Yamadutas came. You see these Yamadutas, they came to snatch his soul out of the body. He was very scared to look at them. And in that scared and fearful and helpless situation, he chanted for his son because he was very attached to his son. Whatever we are attached to, we'll think of that. He just said, Narayana, save me, Narayana. He just said like that. He was not referring to Krishna, but because he used 4 syllables, Narayana, Vishnudutas came. And they said to Yamadutas that the soul doesn't belong to Vishnu, to Yamalok. And then there was a discussion between Yamadutas and Vishnudutas as to where does this soul go. And Vishnudutas gave instructions after instructions and told them to put the soul back in the body. Because this person has, in a very helpless situation, offenselessly chanted Narayana, the name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's not eligible to be a resident of Yamalok. This is the power of chanting Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada said so many times, one who is chanting Hare Krishna 16 rounds every day, guaranteed will not see even Yamadutas in the sleep. Forget about at the time of death. Not see. Guaranteed. So he said guaranteed. And what are we doing? No, Prabhupada, you're maybe you are mistaken. So that's Sanchaya Buddhi, doubtful. But a Sanchaya Buddhi is going to develop further and further deep in bhakti. And then he was placed back in the soul, he was placed back in the body. He didn't go to Narayana because he was not purified. His mind and intelligence had to be purified. But he was given a second chance. And when he woke up again, he could remember what happened by Krishna's mercy. Then he went to Haridwar and toned and concentrated on Krishna for the remaining time that was granted to him. And then when he left the body, then Vaikuntha Viman, the airplane from Vaikuntha, came with the devotees to bring him back. So this is a destination of a devotee. See, they are blowing conch shell. They're giving him flower. They're giving him hand to come, and they're saying, "Okay, let's go back home. Time is up." So one should meditate upon the Supreme Person as the one person. I'm again bringing to your consciousness, Krishna is a person. He's Supreme Person. His body is not like ours, but he's a Supreme Person. So meditate upon the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything, as he who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is smaller than the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is beyond all material conception, who is inconceivable, and who is always a person. He is luminous like the sun, and being transcendental is beyond this material nature. Again, the word transcendental is used, material nature is used, Supreme Person is used. So Krishna is a person. This form is described in Brahma Samhita by Brahma himself. Venum kalantam aravinda dalayataksham parham asham tamasitam buddha sundarangam khandarpa koti kamaniya vishesha shobham govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. So Venum kalantam, Krishna likes to hold a flute. Venum means flute. Venum kalantam aravinda dalayataksham. The color of his body is equivalent to the color of a rain cloud. Barham Asham Tamasitam Buddha Sundarangam. He's very, very beautiful. His body is bent at three parts: shoulder, waist, and knees. So he stands in his peculiar three-handed form. And Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. He's bedecked with a peacock feather, and that Govinda, the enchanter of the senses, is an eternal person. Adi means eternal. Purusha means person, eternal person. Tam aham bhajami. To that Supreme Personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances. So everybody is thinking of Krishna, he who knows everything. Lord Brahma, if he has any problem, he goes to Krishna. Lord Shiva is topmost Vaishnava. Vaishnava Nam Yatho Shambhu. He's the topmost Vaishnava. He's always sitting in meditation. What is he meditating on? He's meditating on Sankarshan form of Krishna. And he offers such nice heartfelt prayers in Bhagavatam. We must read all these scriptures in this lifetime. We must do it. Must. Otherwise, what are we doing? Sense gratification after sense gratification. That we have done in so many lifetimes. Now get up. So, okay, what is the benefit of knowing Krishna? So Krishna very, very repeatedly is emphasizing know me, think of me, become attached to me, meditate on me. But what is the benefit? Yes, Mahati, you can chant.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mam upetya punarjanma dukkha khalayam asaswatam napnuvanti mahatmanaha samsiddhim paramam gatah.
Thank you. Mam upetya punarjanma dukkhalayam ashashvatam na panuvanti mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gatim. This is the goal. Samsiddhim paramam gatim gets the highest perfection. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries. So word is used dukh alayam. Alayam means a place, right? Like there's so many words which end with alayam, vidyalayam, or tell me some words which end with alayam, or anyone can raise their hands. Vidyalayam is coming to my mind, or bhojanalayam. Yes, Shamila Srinivas Mataji, what alayam is coming to your mind? Mataji, you can unmute yourself. Shamila Mataji, you raised your hand. Okay, Raj, yes, Mataji. Oh, sorry. Please unmute yourself one more time.
Devalayam.
Devalayam is a temple. Yes, thank you so much. Okay, Rajani, Rajan, Mataji, what alayam is coming to your mind? Mataji, you can unmute yourself. Okay, Madhu Chilka, Mataji, what alayam is coming? Okay, Sneha, what is coming to your mind?
Karyalayam.
What is that?
Karyalayam is office.
Okay, thank you. I didn't know there is a word like that. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. So Krishna says this word as Dukkhalayam. He is the creator, right? If someone wants to know the intricacies of a place, one must go to the architect who made it, who made the blueprint, right? That is intelligence. So like that, the architect of this place is Krishna. So he's calling this place Dukkhalayam, and another word is Ashashvatam. First of all, this place is full of miseries, and Ashashvatam means is temporary. Srila Prabhupada explains, I can try to make this world very comfortable. Let's say I earn a lot of money, and then I'll have a very comfortable house and a very nice wife and very nice family, and then and then I can have very nice gadgets, very nice servants, and what are you going to do? Very nice TV with a lot of channels. So how is it Dukkhalayam? Where so much fun is waiting. Where is it Dukkhalayam? Well, by the way, it's Ashashvatam. If you think it is not Dukkhalayam, then okay, this is temporary. For how long this nice way is going to stay? Either they will go or you will go, for sure. So all this thing is nothing but a great march towards hell. So Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. Krishna's vision of this world is Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. anyone can have their own vision, that's their vision. They cannot authenticate it with Krishna's vision. Krishna is declaring 8th chapter 15th verse, Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. So what does he want? He doesn't want us to live here. He does not want. That's why he's revealing it. So what does he want? He wants us to come back to him. He says, I need you. You're mine. Come back. Such a love. So then say, okay, somebody is doing such charitably disposed activities and they go to Swargalok and they taste so much juice. Okay, do, but thousands and millions of years one can live. But then what happens? Again, there is this problem going on. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode, or son of Kunti, never takes birth again. Never. Again, a reassurance. Either go to hell or heaven, there is always a war. And this is Brahmaloka's calculation. The topmost planet of this universe is Brahmaloka. So by human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together is duration of Brahma's one day, and such also is the duration of his night. One can live for so many millions of years. But then what happens? Again, Abrahma Bhuvanar Loka Punaravartina Arjuna. Go to Brahma Loka, go to this Loka, that Loka, but Punaravartina Arjuna. Ultimately, the time is going to run out and one will have to leave the body even up to the planet of Brahma Loka and come back to this material world. But more intelligent person will do this. Yet there is another nature which is eternal, which is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is. So this is Vaikuntha. All the devotees there, they're so happy. They're just very busy in serving Krishna. Krishna is the apple of their eye. They love Krishna. It is very hard to serve Krishna if one is not in love with Krishna. It's very hard. It becomes a ritual. Prabhupada uses the word Galagraha. He said it's supposed to be Vigraha, like a worship of the deity. But if one doesn't have Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena, the ointment of love, then it is a ritual only. Galagraha, pain in the neck. Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it like that? Okay, this is the place, the map, the GPS, if someone wants to go there. This is the Goloka chart. All these small prints on the left are the references for Goloka, where it is made from. What are the references? Okay, so I'll go over it very shortly. We are here. So Krishna is in Goloka Vrindavan in his original form, and which is like a form of a lotus. And below Goloka Vrindavan are Vaikuntha Lokas. And they're all in spiritual sky. Spiritual sky is this Brahman effulgence around. But we are here, material world, because we repulse. This is our original home. Actually, this is our original home. But right now we are so far away, somewhere here. This part I will show in this diagram. When Krishna creates the material world, he creates through his agent, administrative demigods. He expands himself into Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. So Lord Vishnu, the three forms are there. One is called Karanadaksha Vishnu or Mahavishnu. From his breathing, the universes come out, different, all these golden color eggs. Okay, and then Mahavishnu enters into each one of these universes as Garbhadaksha Vishnu. See, every particular universe, Garbhadaksha Vishnu expansion is there. And from the Garbhadaksha Vishnu or the navel of Garbhadaksha Vishnu, a lotus stem comes out. And on top of the lotus flower, Brahma manifests by itself. Swayambhu. Brahma is Swayambhu. He's born without the agency of a mother. See, Mother Lakshmi is massaging the feet of Vishnu. But Krishna just gives birth to Brahma like that. And in the stem are different planets in this universe. So we are here. Can I make it bigger? No, this is the max my computer can go. So we are here, 6, Bhurlok. And above that is Swar, Maharlok, Janalok, Tapalok, Satyalok, and then Brahmalok. And then below is Atal, Vital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal, and Patal. So lower 7, upper 7, and we are in the middle. So we are here and we have to go here. How do we go there? Because Mother Durga, Durga means fort. She's protecting the fort, a very, very thick layer. We cannot escape all these all these things. Even the astronauts, wherever they are going, whatever planet, it is very much in the realm of this only, if they are going. Prabhupada is doubtful about that too. If they are going, this is only here. No one is going beyond these layers. And there are layers of earth, water, fire, air, ether, false ego, mahatattva. And each preceding layer is 10 times thicker than the succeeding layer. Very, very difficult. So what is the solution? You see this thing coming, this white Hare Krishna Mahamantra originating from Goloka Vrindavan. I will look at my hand. Hare Krishna, all over the universe. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Coming to Earth planet, Bhurloka. Okay, so this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, by chanting, it's a transcendental vibration. That is why it is called Goloka Eva Nivasati Akhilatma Bhuto. It is coming, or Hari Nam Sankirtana, Golokera Premadhana Hari Nam Sankirtana. So what is the radio connection with Goloka Vrindavan? Chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So if one chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then they can directly surpass very easily. And Hare Krishna Mahamantra is maintaining both the material world and the spiritual world. See here also in Brahma Jyoti. Brahma Jyoti is nothing but the effulgence around the planets of spiritual world. But why not? Why someone wants to merge in the Jyoti? How long one can live there? They again come back. Don't risk coming back. Go and associate with Krishna personally by chanting Hare Krishna. So that is the power. Okay, this is the GPS or directions I gave you today. What happened? And what is happening in Goloka Vrindavan? Krishna and his pastimes. Krishna has cows. They're so happy. They're not like cows of this material world who are not taken care of or who are even sent to slaughterhouses. Cow is a mother. She gives milk. So she gives milk. She's a mother. Or Krishna is having eternal pastime with his parents, his mama, Yashoda mother. Krishna is having eternal pastime with the water. Everything is living. So everything is chit, full of knowledge. Everything is alive in Krishna's place, Chintamani. And this is King Kulashekara. He's praying to Krishna because he's an exalted devotee and he's king. Oh Krishna, please allow my mind to immediately yield to your lotus flower-like feet. Just as the flamingo enters into the labyrinth of the lotus flower stem, when at the moment of my last breath, my throat becomes constricted by the actions of the bodily humors, air, bile, and phlegm, how will I be able to remember you? So he's saying, Krishna, let me leave my body now when my health is good. Krishna, Tvadiya Pada Pankaja Panja Rantam Adveyaye Me Vishatu Manasa Rajahansa Prana Prayana Samaya Kafavatta Pitte Kantha Varodhana Vidhau Smaranam Kutaste. How will I remember Krishna? My life here at the time of leaving is going to be filled with Kapha, Pitta, Vayu, or all these things. The throat will become constricted. How will I chant Hare Krishna? Let me do now. Not that we will commit suicide. We should follow such authorities and pray to them, not copy them. Then Krishna again gives a formula how we can go to him. Vedeshu yagneshu tapassu chaiva daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam atyeti tat sarvam idam viditva yogi param sthanam upayati chadyam. A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas. Performing austere sacrifices, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical or fruitive activities. At the end, he reaches the supreme abode. You see, Arjuna may think that what about studying the Vedas? You're telling me to think of me and fight the war. You're telling me to meditate on you as a supreme form. Okay, I do that, Krishna, but he may have a doubt that what about studying the Vedas? So Krishna is clarifying that doubt even before Arjuna asks this, that a person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing austere sacrifices, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. At the end, he reaches the supreme abode. So Krishna consciousness is so nice, the process is so sure, and there is so much happiness. For a soul who has little faith, Shraddha, little faith is needed. So this is chapter 8 summary. 8 questions put forward by Arjuna. What is Brahma? what is karma, what is adhyatma, what is adibhuta, what is adideva, what is adiyagna, where does adiyagna live, kim brahma? And Krishna answers all answers other than how can I achieve him at the time of death. So the rest of the chapter is only answering the question, how can I achieve that Lord of my heart at the time of my death? So remembering Krishna at the time of death, 5 to 8, he says, Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu. Remember, think of me at all the time and fight. Then remembering Krishna by Yoga Mishra Bhakti from 9 to 13. Om Iti Eksharam Brahma. Remembering Krishna by pure Bhakti, 14 to 16. The key verse is Dukhalyama Shashvatam. Then he gives a comparison of this place is Dukhalyama Shashvatam, but that place is Paraprakriti, beyond this world, is never annihilated when this world is annihilated. So material world versus spiritual world, 17 to 22nd. Paras tasmatu bhava anyo. Then supremacy of pure bhakti in attaining Krishna, 23 to 28 verse. Atyeti tat sarvam idam viditva. So I have very special guest today, but I want to play one very powerful video. Please don't leave. She's very special. If you can just stay for like 15 more minutes to seek her association. Is it okay, Mataji, if I play the video first?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Okay, let's look at this video. Please don't leave. I am requesting all of you. Watch the video and also associate with the Mataji that I'm going to introduce in a bit. So this video is based on 3rd canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 31, the movement of the living entities. So have fun.
Then the body is finished and the soul again enters another body. This is called transmigration. What is the next body you are going to get? You must have information.
You're actually in the middle of the workshop right now, sleeping. This is your first lesson.
So this was done by Bhaktivedanta Institute in United Kingdom. Yeah, Bhaktivedanta Institute. Even in Calcutta, there is one. Okay, it is my pleasure to introduce Bhavani Mataji. She is a senior IAS officer in Hyderabad, and she came to our programs in June. Mataji, was it June?
June 2020, yeah.
And I'm so happy to announce that Mataji, she took up Krishna consciousness so seriously that actually she is the Telugu batch teacher now. She's taking the courses. And because she's IAS officer, she could surpass this confinement area of Corona. And she went because she said she liked the references from Srimad Bhagavatam. So she actually used her official powers, if I may say, Mataji, to go to Corona confinement area because the temple was in the confinement area that time.
Yes.
To buy Srimad Bhagavatam. She wanted to buy and read. So she bought the whole set of Defeating All Odds. Not that we all should do it. Only a special person can get a mercy like that. And she's reading and she's chanting 16 rounds. And I have invited her because her story is fascinating. Okay, let's hear from her. And then if anyone has any question from Mataji, for Mataji, then you can raise your hand later. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Srinath Narayan Vasudeva, Sri Krishna Bhakti Priya Chakrapani, Sri Rama Padmaksha Hare Murare, Hare Krishna. The journey of mine, along with Mataji, has been an exemplary one. Mataji, I drew my inspiration from you for completing my ISKCON disciple course from Belgium, Radheshyam University.
She's going to take any station also now. I know.
Hare Krishna Mataji. And I started ISKCON Mangaluru. I joined actually the classes because basically I was a Carnatic classical vocalist. So I thought of understanding actually what Bhagavad Gita was, because every time we keep on hearing about Bhagavad Gita. And when I joined the classes with Prem Kishori Mataji, and it has been a very, very nice journey of mine. And this is a real thing wherein I'm now all time into this Krishna consciousness thing, because once we develop attachment to Krishna, that is what is Krishna consciousness, I believe. And this will definitely make us very strong in whatever decisions we take or whatever, and we'll not fall victim of Maya. That is what I understood as far as I started doing the 16 rounds of chanting every day, early morning, 5 to 6 or 6:30 it will be. And yeah, schedule is a bit tight one, but still despite of my schedule, I'm continuing to do it. And evening, my classes with the senior batch continues from 5:30 to 6:30, and 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock is the regular Telugu batch. Yeah, 9 Mataji. And so I think Krishna consciousness is not something which can be imposed on mind. If you are searching for real pleasure, definitely we have to take to Krishna consciousness. Real pleasure, whatever it is, true satisfaction. That has been my experience, Mataji, and I'm very thankful to ISKCON Mangaluru and Nama Prabhu, of course. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you. Does anyone has any questions for Mataji? You can raise your hand. She is a mother. She has a father that she takes care of, and she's a senior IAS officer, and she's chanting 16 rounds a day and reading Srimad Bhagavatam. She's on 9th canto. Okay, Vichita, you have a question for Mataji?
I wanted to ask what is her name, because she has written just KBP over there.
Dr. K. Bhavani.
Okay, Dhanyavad.
Okay, Shankar Prabhu, you have a question for her?
Yes, Hare Krishna. It's truly inspirational. Are you into service right now? And you said it just everything happened now.
Service. I've got 11 years more service, Prabhu.
Oh, that's great. And you are managing everything, being 16 rounds of Hare Krishna, and also your service, and as well as
Yes,
Uh,
Prabhu.
yeah, that's amazing. I mean, everything happened in just few months. You said you just took your first Bhagavad Gita lesson from
Mataji.
Mataji.
Yes, yes.
Yes, just in 2020. That's amazing. Like, is it? Do you think that we can elevate ourselves in such a short period of time? Like,
Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. It's very heartening to listen to your kind words. I'm very humbled. And yeah, definitely, because I was into particularly this particular thing of, because I have done my Sanskrit course from IIT Roorkee. So catching up with Mataji's lesson was a bit easy for me. And Mataji also gave me many references of, because we used to have very personal interaction also. The way she really inspired me. I mean, it's not talking about Mataji, but the thing is, my journey I have to explain. Because initially when I was, because I just, off the cuff, I got recorded or registered my name into this ISKCON Mangaluru's Bhagavad Gita class. Because it was Corona time, everybody was under lockdown, so that was a movement. Then I think it should be Jai Karuna Mata also, because of Corona.
yeah, 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 it is
because it gave some
definitely
breathing space or
true,
time for
true,
all of
true.
us to.
I completely
Because
agree
I'm
with
very
you. Yes,
candid
true.
actually. So
Yes.
that actually really, because everybody is being pulled to Lord now, because there is no vaccine. Only God can save us. That's what.
Very true. Very true. True.
So
True.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Okay,
Oh,
Krishna.
thank you,
Sumedha,
and yes,
thanks.
thank you so
Sumedha
much.
Mataji, there's so many hands raised.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Sumedha. Hare Krishna. You have a question for Mataji, Sumedha? Oh, she raised her. Okay, Shruti Shinde Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I decide it's a very coincidence actually. I decided giving UPSC from like last 2 months before I was doing chartered accountancy, and so I was like stunned knowing there's this guest name like who is IAS, because some magical things are happening from few weeks, like whichever things I want is coming to me, like so I wanted this someone mentor. So the Mataji is into Sri Krishna, and even she's IAS of experience. So I would like to know her experience and everything later on. So I just wanted to know that can I contact her later on?
Mataji will get back to you. You can write to me an email at ugenglish20 and we'll get back to you. Okay, Hare Krishna. Okay, International Academy Languages. That's a heavy name. Yes, what question do you have?
No, actually, as a by profession, I'm a trainer. So it's just that account. My name is Seema Saxena, and so my question is a bit lengthy. I hope it won't. I mean, take much time. I hope I will try to say it in short. So the thing is, like, we have been ISKCON members, not disciple members, for around 8-9 years. So I have this entire set of Gita, Bhagavad Gita at home in Hindi, and we are basically like Hindi speaking. We are from North India. Right now, I am based in Mumbai. So my question actually is like, I have I have a joint family kind of. So we lived with our mother-in-law. We had been living, and like हमारा साथ like 20 years का था, and last year she left us for heavenly abode, and it was a big setback for me क्योंकि 20 साल का दिन रात का हमारा साथ था. So it was very difficult for me to come to terms with that loss, and still it is. So after like her demise in October last year, I tried to read that Bhagavad Gita for the first time, and but it did not help much. It helped a bit, but not much. Now the thing is, like, it is said in Bhagavad Gita, there is a big question in my mind. So the question is like, it is said that Atma Ajar Amar hai, and it moves on its journey. बट वो जो रह जाते हैं पीछे, वो उनका जो अटैचमेंट है वो तो नहीं खत्म होता है, एंड वो इस थॉट से भी नहीं जाता है. इस थॉट से भी वी डोंट गेट पीस कि ठीक है, Atma Ajar Amar hai, that is okay, but what about the people who belong to that person and who are still there on the journey in their human form? So how to, you know, how to get solis through, you know, maybe I'm not able to explain myself well, but still अभी मैं इस 18 days के course में गुरुजी के संग हूँ, नामा गुरुजी के संग, and I thought like his session is going on, so I just immediately after my training session, I just immediately came here. I thought I will ask this question today to him, but then I found, I mean, whosoever is here can answer this actually. So I just wanted to put up this, like put this up with the panel, like why this is so that still I don't get peace of mind. It's hard to accept actually, even though I know the fact that, you know, Atma Ajar Amar hai, but that doesn't give peace.
Right.
Yeah.
Mr. I'm sorry for your loss, and we'll pray for your departed soul. Mataji, would you like to take? Bhavani Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol Mataji. Now I share the same emotions as Seema Mataji, I believe. Seema, her name. So as she says, because I lost my mother, she was a great inspiration to me, and entire my life I depended on her, and for any whatever issues have come, because it is your in-law, I believe. You lost her and you are feeling bad. It is my own mother. I lost her at the age of 60. And it was because of the medical callousness, I lost her. It's a very, very traumatic experience because she was admitted for some other disease. She was treated for some other disease. So we lost her completely in this particular thing. And I believe because once I had, because I was given one small Bhagavad Gita book by my father when I was repenting I was feeling very bad on the loss of my mother. He gave me a small book of Bhagavad Gita, and he said it was ISKCON Prabhupada's Telugu version of Bhagavad Gita. Because when we used to go to ISKCON temple, we bought one book and he gave me. But I just read some few pages. In Telugu, actually, we have got an issue that Bhagavad Gita is recited whenever somebody expires. In that particular household, Bhagavad Gita. Every household, that's the same thing in every Hindu household. Yeah. But the thing is, once we, now, Mataji, I believe after reading it and after giving it a third reading, I really came out of that Maya. Now I'm very, very strong saying that, yes, my mom has obeyed the orders of the God. She has passed away. She has gone from this world, and maybe she's liberated also. I don't know. Maybe she has reached Vrindavan, Vaikuntha, Satyalok, wherever, whichever loka it is. But I only feel that she is in safe hands of Lord Krishna. So that is what we have to come out of that Maya. Maya is getting attached to the departed souls or the living souls. The thing is, we should understand the truth of life. Once we are attached to Krishna, obviously, I believe we can slowly come out of this particular thing. And 16 rounds of chanting definitely helps a human being to come out of it. I definitely feel, because initially when I started doing the rounds of chanting, it took really 2 to 3 hours for me, honestly, Mataji. Now I think it's getting fast, so fast that 1 hour 20 minutes I'm chanting it, and I'm doing another exercise of other shloka recitation also. So I think Seema Mataji, chanting will help you a lot to come out of this particular trauma. Yes. It's really traumatic, I can understand.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
But Mataji, this question was asked by Arjuna to Krishna also. That yes. Krishna, you're telling me that when my grandfather dies, he's actually not dead because he's going to get a new body. It's a soul. It's like changing of clothes, right? Vashansi jirnani yatha vihai navani grihani naro priyani. That shloka that the soul is changing a dress, like we change our dress every day, so many times a day. So like we don't get attached to the dress, right? So Krishna, he says, Krishna, you're telling me all this, but I'm still attached, because if I see my grandfather collapsing and dying, I will still feel the pain. So Krishna answers in 2.14. Second chapter, 14 shloka. Matra sparshastu kanteya, sitoshna sukha dukkha daha, agama apayino anitya, stam sitikshishva bharata. So matra sparshastu, it is by touch only, Arjuna, that we feel sadness or good. He actually acknowledges. He doesn't say, Arjuna, that you fool, I am telling you, I'm God, that soul is immortal. And again, you're saying this question. He doesn't talk like that. He's so empathic. His heart is so big. He says, yes, yes, that's a fact. Yes, you will feel the pain. Yes, but what to do? Tam stitikshishva bharata. Tolerate. You have to tolerate. There is no other solution. How can we? Yes, we must grieve. We have a very good. I am very fortunate to have association of devotees. For everything I want, I can just go to them and ask. Just one phone call away. So grieving is a skill. Okay, you must grieve, because if you will not grieve, then the mind is not just going to get rid of it, but grieve in a way that makes you more Krishna conscious. Because when one loses someone, that person may become either attached to Krishna or become averse to Krishna. So both things can happen. So tolerate, grieve properly, grieve. Like I lost my best friend in January. I was horrible. And my friends, they told me in the temple, give yourself some space, like grieve. She was your friend. She died a traumatic death. Grieve. Okay, but how to grieve? Get creative. They told me. They said, get the flower for Krishna, go to the temple. That's what they told me. And I did it, and it helped me. And talk to the flowers, saying to Krishna that, tell that, take the name of your friend and say that this flower is this my friend, and I know that she belongs to you. I had just some interaction with her, so actually she belongs to you. So I'm offering her in the form of flower to your lotus feet, Krishna. So you do some, get creative. People get so creative. They plant trees in the memory of their loved one for Krishna's service. You need to use your senses, otherwise the mind will be always grieving, and guard yourself with devotees. Those are some of the practical things I can say. And plus, chanting is a must. Without chanting, everything else is an exercise only. That is true.
Yeah.
Okay, please ask questions to Mataji, because her time is precious. I don't want to hold her. I love your questions, but please let's respect her time. Shivaram Prabhu.
Yeah, Mataji, thank you for the chance. Actually, I belong to that school which believes that when the disciple is ready, you'll find your master.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's a question which I've been asking many people even in the past. What are the experiences which you which have changed after joining and doing this chanting? So this is a question which I keep asking whenever I visit ISKCON temple also, I keep asking everyone the same question, because I personally believe, see, I just came into this because of the love for it, because even I wanted to chant Bhagavad Gita, and then suddenly I get a WhatsApp message and saying, okay, you enroll into the Mangalore, in spite of the fact that I have been reciting Bhagavad Gita for quite some time. So my question to you is, I mean, you've given an outline as to why you were into it, and what are the changes which you have identified in your day-to-day practice as well?
Yes, Ravani Mataji.
Is a question to me, Mataji?
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Shivram Prabhu, I think I'm very glad to receive that question. I was expecting that question actually. So it's good I received it. Number one, I could, it brought a lot of discipline of my emotions. I could control them, number one. Number two, I could ensure that many people, or whosoever is associated with me or gets associated with me, comes into this particular understanding of Sanatana Dharma and the Krishna consciousness. And the Krishna consciousness is part of Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma is the base. The Sanatana Dharma is Shruti, Smriti, Purana. And Bhagavatam is the Leela of Krishna. And it's such a nice, because in Telugu we have got Potana's Telugu Bhagavatam, and Sanskrit Bhagavatam is written by Vedavyasa. So definitely I'm trying to promote reading by many of the disciples of mine, I mean, whosoever participants of my sessions, or the group of mine or whichever place I keep on having association with. And mostly personally, I believe a lot of peace has come, let me tell you, because there were a lot many tensions. Not personally, I'm very happy by God's grace, everything is fine. But the thing is, we could, how to tackle people, not getting easily agitated, understanding the thing that yes, things do happen, let them happen. But the only thing is we have to trust Krishna and do our duty. So the only thing is trying to make everyone understand that what is actually Sanatana Dharma, the word of Lord Krishna, because the eternal song of Krishna is Bhagavad Gita. The song was sung in such a backdrop of disharmony of battlefield that every person can also understand that, because everyday life we are facing the same. Kurukshetra is there every day for us, because all of us are in the samsara jaladi, or what you say, bhava sagaram we say. So definitely all of us are suffering from many tensions, emotions, traumas. So I think to understand what is ultimate is very important, and not treat that this is the thing which has to be recited only at the time of death. That is what I'm trying to do at each and every place. Thank you.
Very nice. So basically she's getting calmness of the mind, which is a very important lesson from Bhagavad Gita, right? Krishna is spending chapter after chapter to say that mind is your enemy or a friend. So basically she's on the right track of controlling the mind and not letting the mind control. Thank you, Mataji. Dr. Madhavi, Hare Krishna. You have a question for Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank
My
you.
question is, nowadays, many things are spoken about positive thinking, then law of attraction, positive energy, negative energy, etc. But when I read Bhagavad Gita, there is these things are not mentioned there. So what is your opinion about it? I mean, are they mentioned indirectly, which I didn't understand, about law of attraction, positive thinking, etc., etc., or particularly positive energy and negative energy? That's my question.
Mataji, Bhavani Mataji.
Can I answer that, Mataji? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. We do have many concepts like positive thinking, because even I heard them. I used to attend, I mean, we used to have some official sessions. All these things do happen in our life also. But the fact of the matter is, Bhagavad Gita is recited or stated by Sri Krishna, who is the Jagat Guru, who is the Bhagwan. So there is nothing more than what he says. If we are firm believers of Sanatana Dharma, we should not have any other concept or thing except the word of Krishna. If we don't understand basically the word of Krishna, there is no question of understanding other concepts. So Bhagavad Gita is primarily that is why it is the basic book of all the Sanatana Dharma believers, and Prabhupada and our ISKCON is trying to promote the understanding of Bhagavad Gita. We are only trying to understand. We are not doing any research in it. We are trying to understand what he said. And there are many nuances in it. Each shloka, if we read each time, we get some new meanings, trying to understand new things. Like one new concept comes in. Now the positivity, all these concepts are all the new concepts or so-called modern concepts. But the old concept of Sanatana Dharma, if we try to understand that first, I think we can easily fall into the track of Lord Krishna.
It's not there in Gita, right? About positive thinking and all.
It is positive thinking now, Mataji.
It is transcendental thinking, if I may please.
Mataji,
Bhagavad Gita is, may I say, Bhagwani Mataji, if I'm interrupting? Is it okay?
Yes, yes, Mataji.
Because her question is in the is like how to stay in this material world very nicely. Motivational talk. I think that's what she said.
Right.
But our purpose is go to Krishna. What positive thinking, law of attraction, get attracted to Krishna, everything else will be automatically getting attracted. Because you're getting attracted, you're getting attracted to a lump of flesh of someone else. I'm sorry, but this is what Bhagavatam says. 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, Mother Rukmani, Krishna was joking with her. First wife of Krishna. He was just joking with her, okay? That, oh, Rukmani, you are so beautiful. You're so chaste. You deserve a better husband. You look, what did I do? I stole you for Ranachor, right? He's called Ranachor because he kidnapped Rukmani. She was gonna get married to Rukma. So he was just joking with his wife, and on hearing all that, Mother Rukmani, she collapsed on the ground. She fell unconscious because she said, "My God, now Krishna is rejecting me." So and then then Krishna got like hyperventilation. Oh my God, what happened to my wife? So I was just joking, and in the joke also, she could not take that Krishna is going to abandon her. And when she gets up again, then she really prays to Krishna, saying that, Krishna, what attraction is there in this world other than you? And then she describes, you want me to get attracted to someone who has a foul smelling breath, passes dirty things from the body, has dirty nails, dirty hair, is going to die. What she says that, I am not saying it. You read the conversation in 10th chapter Krishna book between Rukmani and Krishna. And there we understand that this is called pure bhakti. Ahetuki apratihata. And positive, negative is in the realm of this material world, Mataji. Chaitanya Chaitamrita Krishnadas Haridas Thakur says, Dvete bhadra abhadra sakuli sama. Dvete means duality. Bhadra means auspicious. Abhadra means inauspicious. Sakuli sama. Both are same things. Ei manda, ei changa, keval manobhrama. This is good, this is bad. It's all a mental concoction. So we are trying to raise everyone to a spiritual conception of life. Prabhupada gives example. In India, he said people pass stool on the field. So it is on the field, it is under sun. So if someone says that the top part of the stool is very nice because it is dry, the bottom part is not so nice because it is wet. What is this top part, bottom part? It's stool at the end. So this place is Dukha Alama Shashvatam. The only positive thing that can ever happen in the life of a human being is if they become attached to Krishna. There's nothing else positive. And if you become attached to Krishna, it is like having 100 rupees in your hand. If you have 100 rupees, you automatically have 90, 99, 99.5 rupees. Why? Because you have 100. Don't shoot for small things. We don't do that. Krishna Prabhupada never trained us. And that's what Bhavani Mataji was also trying to tell you. Go to Krishna. Okay, Soumya Shri Mataji, everyone, please answer questions to Bhavani Mataji for her relevance, because I really want to respect her time. Otherwise, I will respect her to go and, because she has a class. And if your questions are concerning the class, then please wait after she leaves. Let's respect her time. For her only, please. Because I have invited her to inspire us from her journey. Yes, Soumya Mataji. So please rethink your question before you speak. It needs to be directed to her, please.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
When do you get time to read Bhagavatam and how many hours do you read?
This is very good question. Tell her.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I sleep at around 12:45 in the night and get up by 4:30. That's my schedule because I do have to go for field visits. So definitely that's the thing. And I keep reading, and peace time for me is from 11 o'clock in the night.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
But you didn't tell her what you tell me. She has a drive of 40-45 minutes.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because I haven't got it. My driver is there. And he was, because he was just hearing about my classes or whatever I am attending the classes and other things. So one day I told him that your attendance will be monitored by the way you attend the Gita sessions. So you also try to understand Gita, because only your job and other thing is not the thing. Then for the past 2 sessions, he has been attending regularly and also answering. He got a certificate also, Mataji, last session.
Oh my God.
Got the thing.
Mataji, she reads in the car and she prepares for her classes in the drive. And she's listening to Prabhupada. I told them, please listen to Prabhupada every day. So they also, the driver is missing Bollywood songs.
He is getting bored actually, because he used to earlier play some nice Rafi songs or Kishore songs. Now he's saying every time you're switching, continuously Prabhupada's lectures are being played. So he's really getting bored. He's saying everything is in English. At least if it is in Hindi, I can understand Mataji. So that's what he's now trying to say me.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I have one more question.
Yes.
Just she played one, Prem Kishori Mataji played one video, right?
Yeah.
About the child being born. So I have a question related to relating to that. Then we should not have children at all. I think this video should be played in all the colleges so that all the children they come to know. And then I don't think we should have children then. If a child has to go through that much trauma in the stomach of a mother.
Or we must understand that this birth, death, old age, and disease are the 4 primary problems. Okay, if someone is not going to have birth, then the death, old age, disease. Yes, Mataji, go ahead. Hani Mataji, you're like a small child. My children attend the...
No. Mataji, Hare Krishna. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. These are the 4 problems which the Atma has to suffer. So this video is trying to explain to us that rather than falling into this Janana Marana Chakra, let us get emancipated and let us reach the Divya Charana of Lord Krishna. That's the message of that video. It's not that, but the Srushti has to continue. It continues. This is all part of Maya. But the thing is, yes, let us try to emancipate ourselves or liberate ourselves. I feel that is the message which I saw from that video. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sunita Mataji and then Sindhu Mataji. Mataji, please make sure your questions are directed towards Bhavani Mataji. Then she can only stay for the next few minutes.
Jai Shri Krishna Mataji. My question was also actually exactly what the last participant has asked about the birth, whether we should actually give birth to a newborn, because bringing him or her into this kind of a world of suffering and all. But I think that's exactly what it must be, that till the cycle of birth and death doesn't complete itself, I think that's the only reason why everybody takes another birth. So that's what my question was actually.
So is it answered now?
Yes, I mean, I guess we are all fated to continue. And again, like you said, we have to keep on chanting the name of Lord Krishna to get out of this Maya and all. I think I'm really impressed by...
The aim should be to go back. I think we are focusing more on negative. For me personally, to do anything, and Bhavani Mataji, you can say, I need to focus on the goal rather than for focusing on the problem. Krishna consciousness is about focusing on the goal, that I have Goloka Vrindavan waiting. I have Krishna waiting. I have so many foods waiting. Oh my God. So up to you, Mataji, how you work. I don't work with very problem focused.
So, I mean, should we encourage our children to give birth to another child?
Encourage or don't encourage, it is not dependent on us. On the contrary, the Bhagavatam says that one should not become a parent, one should not become a father, one should not become a mother, one should not become a husband, one should not become a wife, one should not become a teacher if they cannot liberate their dependence from the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. Should not. So one should become, for the sake of Krishna, one should become a mother, one should become a father, one should become a husband, one should become a wife, one should become a teacher, so that they all will go back home together. Okay? Okay, not for sense gratification.
Mataji.
Continuing the dynasty. Okay, Sindhu Mataji, you have a question for Bhavani Mataji. Please go ahead.
Yes, Hare Krishna. I just wanted to ask, like when you started initially, how did you space out this chanting 16 times with your busy schedule?
Early morning, Mataji. I've got a habit of getting up early in the morning. So that time I started using it for this, because I practice Carnatic music every day, early morning. So that time I'm using for chanting now.
Okay, so but initially you would have taken longer, like as you said, 2 to 3 hours.
Yes, it took me a longer time. And the speed, I could practice it along with Prabhupada's Japa speed video. Because I used to keep that. That is a metallic voice of Prabhupada. I could.
Oh, is there a video? Is there a chanting video like that? Okay.
Yes. Japa speed, we can easily pick up by chanting along with that video.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Thank you. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Mani Singh Mataji. You have a question for Bhavani Mataji? Then Rashmi Mataji.
Yes, Jai Shri Krishna Mataji. I could know from the introduction that you have been a vocalist also. But I just wanted to know, ma'am, do you feel that the involvement in music has it brought into, has it, I mean, boost up your spiritual journey? Has it a facilitator in as far as the spiritual journey is concerned?
For me, yes. For
Yeah.
me, yes. For me, yes. Because I keep rendering many kirtans of Tyagaraja, Annamacharya, Kabir Das, Tulsidas. So that keeps me actually connected to this particular concept of Krishna consciousness a lot. That really helped me a lot.
Really, I wonder how do you manage time with such a less timing of sleeping, less than even 4 hours. And
Habituated for the past several years, Mataji.
Many years you have been sleeping so less. Is it okay health wise then?
Perfectly all right. No BP, no diabetes till now.
Really, I salute you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Now, let us see how Krishna carries me forward. As of now, no BP, no sugar.
Yeah, along with
Rashmi
difficult,
Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to ask a question. It is like, for example, I had attended Namanishta Das Prabhu's Bhagavad Gita class in the first 2 weeks of July, and I understood the significance of chanting. And I was a person who was getting up early in the morning at around 4:30 to. I'm a maths teacher. I teach high schools where I am challenged by so many different kinds of sums. So I used to practice doing sums early in the morning, get up and do sums. And then I understood that I need to chant. So, but I started chanting, and all of a sudden I picked up speed, and I was chanting 16 rounds early in the morning. Then now what is happening is that there is a conflict happening inside my mind where I get up early in the morning and I think that I am chanting and I feel like I feel good, but still I feel that that time has to be spent for practicing max. What am I doing? And then I'll practice max, and there is a fight happening inside the mind. And during the daytime, I struggle and I take out some time to chant the 16 rounds because I also feel good. I am in this constant battle all the time. I want to ask Mataji, how is that Mataji attained so much of this level? How did you attain this level at so high speed where my mind is always fighting with me? I want to do things like, for example, I want to be a good teacher, and I want to be available for my students, and I want to at the same time I don't want to compromise on what I'm experiencing. So I'm feeling good when I chant. I have peace. I find peace of mind. But there is always a conflict in the mind. How to get rid of the conflict? And to be more focused. I put this, since it is one I would just want to complete. Since it is Purushottama Masa, I also struggle take out the Bhagavad Gita, which I got it from a student who was whose mother is was somehow related to ISKCON. So I got it from a student of mine from the school. So I tried to read Bhagavad Gita, the 15th chapter, even though I don't understand Sanskrit, but somehow I struggle. But then I feel I have wasted my time because I didn't understand anything. I feel like that. So, but
okay. Let's hear from Bhavani Mataji. Thank you for your question, Mataji.
Hari Bol, Hari Krishna Mataji. Sorry to hear that there is a lot of conflict, but I thought prioritization was very important, and we had the habit of prioritizing certain things. And definitely my personal time or whatever my family time is there, now I'm trying to divide that particular time for Krishna consciousness without troubling my professional life. Because that is very important. That is a commitment to society, which I can never give it up. But the thing is, yes, it's also my livelihood also. So I cannot compromise on my livelihood. And that is not what Krishna has said. He said every person has to do his karma or activity. So my livelihood is there, of course, my professional life. But my personal time or whatever family time is there, that I'm trying to devote for, spend more time for Krishna consciousness rather than reading some articles or whiling away the time or passing away the time. And I definitely feel, yes, Carnatic music has really helped me a lot. And yes, I'm greatly indebted to my mother for having initiated me into that music. And of course, to Prema Mataji for Krishna consciousness. Hari Bol. Two Matajis for me in my life. Hari Bol.
Hi, Krishna. Mataji, thank you for being sincere. I've sensed a lot of sincerity in your question. So thank you for being sincere. And that is a very good qualification to become Krishna conscious. So as she said, Mataji, prioritize that you're going to give your discipline is the key, right? Abhyasena yogena, like a detachment and practice. We all go through this. So should I do this or should I do that? But from 18 years of experience of chanting Hare Krishna every day, I can just share my experience, and it's every individual has their own journey. Mataji, if you do attentive chanting, if you give attentive chanting to Krishna, everything else is going to get aligned, because everything else is supposed to be serving Krishna. Everything else that you're trying to do, you'll be able to do, squeeze into a much smaller time. It's magical. We call it Krishna magic. So you have to just practice and ask and ask and ask again, what can I do? What can I do? It's very nice. Okay, Ravi Prabhu, you can unmute yourself. There was some background noise. Where are you? 1 second. Okay, Prabhu, you can unmute yourself.
Mata's Krishna ji. My question is pertaining to your professional front. As the teachings of Bhagavad Gita enhanced your contribution towards the society in your professional front, and have you been able to contribute towards this enhancement of the society's
Prabhu, are you using a Bluetooth speaker?
No.
So your voice is echoing. You can also make it out, right?
Yeah, I
Anyway,
can make
I
it
got
out.
the
It's echoing.
question. He's asking that by becoming Krishna conscious, has your professional life been enriched also?
Yes, of course, Mataji. We are trying to educate people, saying that yes, this is what people have to help each other in improvising their performance levels, not trying to underestimate them or trying to be compassionate, trying to develop more sattva guna rather than being critic of others, like displaying your rajoguna. So the triguna effect, I'm trying to tell them, whenever I get an opportunity, wherever I get an opportunity. Maybe they are thinking that Mataji is going to now become totally a big philosopher type, but I can't help. I'm trying to do what I felt is good or what I'm feeling is good.
Very nice. See, Prabhu, feeling is a compass. We should follow it. We should not repress it. We actually cannot get rid of it. That's another deep topic. Yes, very nice answer. Prabhu, she's saying that it helped her. And Mataji, you always talk about the leadership in Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
What is that?
One cannot be like a Dhritarashtra. That's very important, because Dhritarashtra was a king. He was blind. He was not blind physically. He was blind mentally also. He was blind with the love of towards his sons or whatever it is. And definitely a leader should have a vision. He should have had a vision. He should have heard the good words of Lord Krishna. And being a leader, we should inculcate all these concepts of trying to lead the team from the beginning, from the start. And you cannot run away from the duties also. If anyone tries to apply for leave for more than few days or in critic positions, we definitely say don't become Arjuna in Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Try to become Arjuna in the last yoga. That is, he was prepared to take the war and do the war. So that way people should be. Not keep on giving some excuses or trying to do anything. So everyone has to perform their duties and leave the result to Krishna. But now they have to leave the result to their supreme master or whosoever the boss is. That's the thing. These are all small nuances which we try to implement practically in day-to-day life. It's very hard to, what to say, narrate them situation by situation, but trying to inculcate the concept of sattva guna in everybody. Trying to yes, Mataji.
Thank you very much.
Okay, one last question, Sindhu Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Sindhu Mataji, you have a question for Bhavani Mataji?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. I just had one more question. Like, I wanted to know, since you were saying like night 1 hour you'll read Bhagavad Gita before sleeping.
Yeah.
So is there a rule, like, which is there a rule like we have to read these many chapters, or we can just read one chapter, or how is it, like, 1 hour we have to finish off reading? Is there a rule, something like that?
I don't know, Mataji. I keep reading it as per my convenience. whether it will be half chapter or full chapter, because I'm a fast reader. So I go through the chapter, and it's not that we have to. Maybe sometimes I get stuck up in one particular shloka, and I keep on reading it because the narration of the purport is very beautifully given by Prabhupada. So sometimes it gets stuck. Half chapter only I could complete. So it's not a rule, hard and fast rule that you should complete one chapter or 100 slokas per day or 10 slokas. It depends on the way we try to enjoy each pastime of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
So
Okay, Hare
Prabhupada
Krishna.
said 1.5 hours reading of Shastras every day. He gave the number. If one can follow. But am I able to follow every day? No. But some days I read 4 hours. Maybe I compensate. I don't know. But Prabhupada said 1.5 hours every day. Okay, Dr. Mallikarjuna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, can I?
Mataji, let him say, because I already called out his name. Yes,
My
you
question is to Mataji. How has your family reacted to your time taken for Krishna consciousness? Since
They're
it takes
very
about
happy.
3 to
Honestly
4 hours.
speaking, they are very happy. They are saying, yeah, now you're back of Krishna, not back of us. They're very happy. So they are saying, why today you don't have a class? So the other day it was raining very badly in Hyderabad. I had to cancel the class. Then I was back of them. Then they were saying, today you don't have a class. You're not with your participants. Come on, they may be waiting for you. So that's the way they are reacting.
They don't feel neglected?
No, Prabhu, not at all. Not at all. My husband is an ex-army officer. He was NSG officer. So, and he put in his 12 years of service in Kashmir. So obviously he is very, very accommodative and participative and very highly interactive. I know Prema Mataji also knows it, and very supportive. I'm very indebted to my father, who is 83-year-old man, who is on oxygen now for the past few months. And we are all indebted to ISKCON and of course to Sriman Narayana.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Prabhu, by becoming Krishna conscious, Krishna takes care. Actually, it is what you're asking is the initial stage of devotion. One may get like, oh, I have to just do Krishna consciousness, and Krishna consciousness only means reading or listening to a class. So that I don't know your is it coming from your experience, or are you seeing someone else going through it? But I see that a lot when some family member is there, and then and the other family member is trying to become Krishna conscious, but they're in the beginning stages. Because beginning stages, one thinks that family is Maya and Krishna is Krishna. But as you go on, tolerate Titikshava, that person will come out. That person will come out and will serve the family in a much better consciousness. But it's a beginning. It happens a lot when someone else in the family is trying to do it in the beginning. Anyway, Sita Mataji, you are muted. You have a question for Mataji? Unmuted, sorry.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Bhavani Mataji, you're truly an inspiration. I'm hearing you for the second time. I had one question because of you are like a rock star student, you know, who went from 0 to 100 in like 3 months. Like for an average student like me, because I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to take this class again, just because every time you learn or hear, you learn something new. So my approach is, you know, I want to do it right, and I want to do it consistently. So I'm increasing my chanting every day. Right now I'm at like 4 or 5 a day. But how quickly did you go from 0 to 16?
Hare Krishna. Mataji, can I answer that with a kirtan?
That is it for you. It is
Yeah. Can I answer that with a kirtan?
Sure.
Please.
Vinaro bhagyemu Vishnu kadha Venuvala midivo Vishnu kadha Vinaro bhagyemu Vishnu kadha Vadalaka Vedau Vyasulu Nudi Vina Vidita Pavanamu Vishnu Kadha Sadanam Vainade సంకీర్తనయే వెదకిన చోటనే విష్ణు కదా వినరో భాగ్యము విష్ణు కదా. The pastimes of Krishna has been such a wonderful thing for me that I really felt so happy. And I think belief in Vishnu makes you go from maybe 0 to 100 or 0 to 1000, whatever scale it is. But the thing is, I really feel I'm still at 0 only because it's a learning process. Lots to learn from Mataji and Nama Prabhu. And I'm deeply indebted to ISKCON Mangaluru for having me, for trying to groom me into one Krishna conscious person. That's what. I'm humbled and I'm deeply indebted, Mataji. Thank you so much.
So Mataji, but how long did you take from 0 to 16? We met June 13th to June 30th, right? That was the first batch.
Yes.
So and I think you started chanting before June 30th, if I remember.
I started from June 21st, Mataji. 4 rounds initially started. Then it picked up to 16 rounds from July 20th onwards, after 1 month. Because that was a target which I kept out. Thought 16 rounds is what Prabhupada said. So I kept on that Japa Speed video and kept on sitting with that metallic voice of Prabhupada.
Very
so
nice.
I kept doing it. So that's
Thank
the
you.
Thank you for sharing, Mataji.
Hari bol, Mataji.
The key word she's using is the gratitude. She's full of gratitude for Srila Prabhupada, for the devotees that crossed her path, and this is one way of showing one's gratitude. That's how I started chanting too, because I was full of gratitude for Namanishta Prabhu, the devotees at the temple. Their life is so nice, my God, and I want to become like them. That's why. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you Bhavani Mataji so much for coming.
Mataji, always pleasure is mine, Mataji, to join your class. And
No,
again,
thank
one
you
more
so
class
much.
I heard and I love you so much, Mataji.
No,
Hare
thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
To all the participants, I hope the participants trust Krishna and never follow the path of Krishna. Hari bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Ancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasinubhyo evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.